could enjoy and imagine what it was like to catch a wave with that driving beat of the surf music.
Right. So when the surf music came out, was that kind of the time that Gidget was, going into the late 50s, early 60s?
Just after Gidget, the surf music really kind of came in with Dick Dale and then all the other little surf bands.
Dick Dale, God,
the
he's...
Shantays.
Yeah.
And just...
And that whole kind of guitar style.
Well, surf music by its nature is supposed to be instrumental. It started out being accompanied by jazz music in the 50s. It was cool to be seen in a wave, and you had Cal Tjader or some other jazz musician taking you there. But then came the guitar-driven instrumentals, and that lasted for 2 short, sweet years until those 4 characters from England caught the plane.
Oh, the Beatles, sure, yeah.
And blew surf music literally out of the water.
Wow.
Because all the airwaves wanted was strictly Beatles.
Right.
So all those the little old lady from Pasadena, or Jan and Dean, or Dick Dale, or the Safaris, they were gone.
Now Gordon and Smith, those guys are still based out of San Diego. They're
more than 50-year history of making surfboards, surf products in San Diego. They are credited with making the first surf T-shirts.
Oh wow!
You'd bring your old plain T-shirt to them, and they would silkscreen their logo on it, and by God, now you had a piece of art.
Is this them right down here in the picture?
Yes.
So what are the names of these guys there?
Floyd Smith and Larry Gordon.
Floyd Smith and Larry Gordon.
Yes. Absolutely premier, classic surf company in San Diego. And they quickly got into skateboarding. They took their business very seriously and became...
It's a nice board they've got there.
Anchor.
Right. And is that Dick Dale?
That's Dick Dale. You can tell because he's playing left-handed.
Ah.
He's just a fabulous entertainer, still playing today.
That is really cool. And then this would be the type of guitar, or one of the guitars that
This guitar was donated to the museum several years ago by a group that commemorated surf music, and they wanted to make it out of wood guitar to tie into woody vehicles, and they called it the Storm Surf, the Woody 48 edition. They only made a few of them. They donated one to the museum. And you see the stringer up the center, kind of, again, honoring surfing music and its legacy. And it's coming back pretty big time.
It
just has a different tone.
Yeah.
With Jack Johnson and Ben Harper,
right.
Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
All surfers.
Jane, you are a wealth of information. I am so glad that...
Fabulous musicians.
Yeah.
Well, here's something we're really proud of, too. And then, of course, the clothing came in, right?
Right.
Right? And you had to wear certain things. It came from just wearing anything you can find.
Right.
Being a loner and going to the beach in any kind of vehicle that would float your board. You had to look a certain way. Certain styles came into being.
Hang 10 surfwear. So that's when you really started launching the apparel, surfing apparel, and that really started.
Pretty much.
That is really, really cool. What are your hours here at the museum?
We're open every day from 10 to 4.
10 to 4.
And we'll continue that when we move down the street.
That is phenomenal.
It is.
Well, we're going to post pictures and all this video on our SoCalBeachMag.net site and send it up to our Coastal TV network and put it on there. And this is really a treasure for everybody that's in Southern California.
We think so too. We never know who's going to come into the museum. Sometimes it might be a high-profile surfing individual, or it's somebody whose grandpa surfed and they brought in some pictures,
right.
Or they're donating a board or a piece of equipment.
Right.
And we can listen to stories all day long, trust me. And then our board wall gives young people and others, non-surfers, because so many of our guests are non-surfers, a little perspective on boards, weight, thickness, material, surfability, You know, the fin didn't go on the surfboard until 1935.
35 is when
So
the
they were
fins.
just surfing
Right.
big old, look at
Well,
this
look
one.
at this one right here.
Sean,
Yeah.
feel the rails on this. Just put your hands yourself on that. That's made out of old telephone poles
Oh my God.
and ridden by a guy from San Onofre who saw the guys taking down the telephone poles one day, and he said, "Can I have that good redwood?" And they said,
Oh
"If you
my
can
God.
haul it away, you can
It's yours.
have it."
Well, look at the fin on that one. That's like got to be one of the
This
first.
is an
let me
early
get back
hot
this-
curl shaped board that was shaped by Woody Brown, who also has quite a footprint in San Diego surfing history. But he made this particular board in the islands in the hot curl style, meaning an easier board to catch big waves with and go a little faster.
Wow.
Because some of these boards could take a nice long wave and make a nice long ride. You
Sure.
couldn't turn them, you couldn't
Right.
maneuver them. If the wave was too big, you were sunk.
Right.
You know. And then the fin, of course, added that stability and ability to hold in the water.
Oh, then we got to have King Neptune there for
Poseidon.
Poseidon, right?
From the Palos Verdes Surf Club, one of the first surfing clubs in California, if not the first.
Wow.
And there's guys still alive from that club, and they're in their 90s.
Wow.
And our local legend, Leroy Granlis, is one of those gentlemen. But, we're losing.